Hare Krishna everyone, Danvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Please accept my humble obeisances. We are continuing the story of Jagannath ji. Um, some portions that we need to talk about. One is Gundica Marjanam, a little bit more in detail, and then some small stories here and there that I wanted to mention and missed out. I'll start with Mangalacharan. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं सतं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोऽस्तु ते तप्त काञ्चना गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा जय श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णा पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमती भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारणे मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनातारणं परमानन्दमाधवं कृष्णचैतन्य ईश्वरम् गुरुवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna everyone. So yesterday we were talking about because I know Rakshita Mataji and Nirbhay Prabhu were not able to attend. So yesterday we discussed two stories. One was the pastime of Snan Yatra. What is Snan Yatra? It is basically the appearance day of Jagannath ji when the three lordships, Jagannath, Baldev and Subhadra, they come out of the temple. They are placed on a Snan Vedi or like a mandap bathing platform very high up on which they are given a bath. So a public bath takes place with various vessels of water. Almost 130 vessels of cold water is used, and there many different things are put inside them. And with that, lords take the bath in front of everybody. In this way, everybody gets their darshan, and even people outside the temple get their darshan. And then after the bath, they take up this elephant vesh or the elephantine, the Ganesh vesh, Hathi vesh, and Subhadra Maharani dresses in like a lotus flower dress. And then the pastime happens where they fall, all three of them fall sick. So as they fall sick, they spend the next 2 weeks or 15 days in the Ratan Vedi or the sick room where they're taken care of by the descendants of Vishwavasu. So if you remember, Vishwavasu is the Shabra king, the king of Shabra dynasty who was serving the Neel Madhav deities. His descendants are called Daitas, and they take care of the three lordships when they're sick. Actually, even the rest of the time also, these daitas, they take care of the lords. All the personal services, like not the arti or the altar services, the deity worship, but the personal services where the lords are decorated, their dresses are changed, their jewelry is changed, right? Though those kind of services are actually still performed by daitas. And this is one of the merciful aspects of Lord. Um, and they are a very, they're tribal dynasty. They are not, the same dynasty which Shabri belonged to. So they are not like Brahmins by the caste. If you go by the caste or by that system, they are not Pandits or Brahmins, but they belong to the same dynasty that was serving Neel Madhav deities. So Lord really wants their service for his personal services. It is said that they are like his family. So just like when everything is happy and good, we will associate with many different people. But when we are sick, we really associate with our family. We let them take care of us. Similarly, when lords are sick, they let the Daitas take care of them. So, before going into the story of Gundica Marjanam, I wanted to tell another story and some aspects of Lord Jagannath's mercy. Okay, we talked about yesterday the mood of Jagannath ji also, right? We talked about the story of how Krishna met with the Vrajvasis in Kurukshetra. Very, very beautiful pastime. Very, very Rasik pastime full of so many mellows and highest madhurya bhav possible that is very, very difficult for us to understand. To us, it may look like just a relationship between a boy and a girl, but we know that Radha and Krishna is not an ordinary relationship between a boy and girl. They are no ordinary people, right? They are the supreme lords. And so the way they are exchanging their the way the exchanges happen between them, it's basically the relationship of Lord with his devotees. And the mood of separation of Krishna from Radha Rani and from Vrindavan in Dwarka is the mood of Jagannath ji. So it is said that Jagannath ji is basically Dwarkadish Krishna in separation from Radharani and Vrindavan. Okay. And he's very merciful, right? As you can see by the fact that how he comes out to take bath in the public in form of Snan Yatra, how the Rath Yatra happens, how he allows Daitas to take care of him. So many, many merciful aspects, which I just want to touch upon very quickly. So there are 5 aspects of Lord Jagannath's mercy. Okay, the first, the most common, the most popular that Prabhupada popularized, right, in all the major cities of the world, is the Jagannath Rath Yatra, the chariot festival, or the festival of chariots, the public cart ride, you can say. And we talked about this yesterday, but basically the external reason of the Rath Yatra is that Lord is giving darshan even to those people that are atheists or that are not coming to the Lord or coming to the temple uh, despite any convincing or any efforts. They will not come to Krishna, right? We always talk about there are certain people that take a long time, many lifetimes it takes before they'll come to Krishna. So even those people that are not coming to temple, Jagannath ji steps out to give them the darshan, right? That is number one reason. But the number two reason we understood from yesterday's story is that the Vrajvasis really wanted to take Krishna back to Vrindavan. They met him in Kurukshetra. They saw all his opulences, all his elephants and horses, and his um, opulent attire, royal clothes, his soldiers and warriors around him. And they really missed their old charming Krishna who used to have flute in his left hand and who would sing the fifth note to call out the gopis, who has a peacock feather on his head, very simple yellow dhoti, and they missed him. They missed the cows and calves surrounding him. They missed him standing under the kadam tree and next to the banks of Yamuna. They missed all that, right? So they just wanted to put him on the carts that they had come in. Let's put him on this cart and let's take him back to Vrindavan. Why should he go back to Dwarka? Let's take him back to Vrindavan. And that mood in which the devotees still want to take Krishna, the Dwarkadish Krishna, from Dwarka to Vrindavan is the Jagannath Rath Yatra. So what are devotees doing? They're pulling the cart of Jagannath ji and taking him back to Vrindavan, which Gundicha temple represents Vrindavan and Jagannath Puri temple represents the Dwarka or the Kurukshetra where they met. And we know that the Radha Bhav, the Gopi Bhav is the highest Bhav, right? So that is the Bhav that Radha, Rani and Gopis had when they met him in Kurukshetra. So they want, in the same Bhav, we should have that same Bhav. That is the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's instruction that in the same Bhav as Braj Vadus, or the cowherd girls of Raj, one should pray to the Krishna of Vrindavan, right? Aradhyo Bhagwan Vrajestanyas Tadhama Vrindavana, right? Ramya Kachid Upasana Vrajvadu Vargena Vakalpita, right? That in the same mood as Vrajvadus, we should worship the Lord of who? Which Lord? The Krishna in Vrindavan. In which Dham? In Vrindavan Dham. And then he says that Srimad Bhagavatam is the one scripture we should read. And whose opinion is all this? This is the opinion of none other than Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sriman Mahaprabhu Matam Idam Tatradhara Napara. That this is the opinion of Sriman Mahaprabhu. So that is the Jagannath Rath Yatra, where the devotees are pulling Krishna from Dwarka back to Vrindavan. That is the internal mood, and the external is that we are giving, Jagannath ji is giving darshan to everybody, people that are not coming to the temple or not allowed in the temple in this life because of different religion, different dharma and whatnot. So that is so one aspect. So we are discussing 5 aspects of Lord Jagannath's mercy. The one we talked about, Rath Yatra. The second is, if you remember, day before yesterday, we talked about 3 boons that King Indradyumna asked from Jagannath ji. Does anyone remember the 3 boons? What all did he ask from Jagannath ji when he installed the
I
deity?
think one was like one was that एक तो प्रसाद का था,
Huh?
right?
Yes. Yes.
One was for prasad that nobody should, but he asked in a different way. I remember that he said not directly. It was in an indirect way that nobody should sleep. That you shouldn't sleep. You shouldn't sleep, and you should eat a lot.
Yeah.
And one more.
And the third one was, would Ansh like to guess? Ansh, do you remember? What are the 3 boons Indradyumna Maharaj asked from Jagannath ji after installing the deities?
No.
Do you remember something about a king, that a king can never have a son in Jagannath Puri? He cannot have an heir.
I missed it.
Okay. So
There was one thing that the elephant would put necklace on garland on whomever, that would become the king.
right, that's right. So yeah, Jagannath Puri, any king will not have a son, will never have a son, and the king will be chosen randomly by an elephant who will put a garland around any random person. So there are stories of different random people that elephant has garlanded, and then they become the Gajpati or the king of Jagannath Puri. So okay. So these were the 3 boons that you should not, try to sleep minimum. Don't sleep too much. Eat a lot even before you. Once you finish eating and you wash your hands, even before your hands are dry, you should be eating the next meal. And the third was that no king would have any sons or heir to the throne. So now we are discussing the 5 aspects of Lord Jagannath's mercy. The one we talked about is the most common, is the Rath Yatra, right? The second is that he never sleeps. Okay, so Indradyumna Maharaj asked him, "Don't sleep too much," but he does not sleep. And we talked about the story of Vibhishan, right? The temple does not close. Temple closes only for 2 hours in the day. The darshan is stopped only for 2 hours in the day for general public. Why? Because at that time, Lord is giving darshan to the demigods or the people from other planets. So he gives darshan to demigods. And we talked about the Vibhishan story, how Vibhishan came one time very tall, and priest was wanted to inquire, why are you trying to enter into the temple, who are you? And Vibhishan gave him his bracelet that look, if you don't believe me, I'm Vibhishan, look at the Lord Ram's inscriptions on this bracelet. And that bracelet is still there, as big as a chariot wheel, right? So he never sleeps. He gives darshan in those 2 hours to demigods or other denizens of other planets, and rest of the time he's giving darshan to the people here in Jagannath Puri. And he has no eyelids, if you see, right? His eyes have a very they're very unique. Typically we say lotus eyes, but his eyes are round, completely round, right? They're not lotus shaped like this. They're round. And does anyone know the colors of his eyes? What is the color of his eyes? Are they blue color, brown color, golden color?
Red.
Red color, yes. Yes, Ansh, thank you. What other colors are there in his eyes? You can look at the DT.
You can look at the Jagannath Maharaj scene.
So yeah, red is the outermost, right? And then inside the red is the maybe I should,
White.
yeah, white. I should have had a picture of Jagannath.
Black.
And then black. Yes, red, white, and black. So those are the three colors of his eyes. Trying to see. So here I can see the eyes. They're round. This is red color, then white color, and then black color, right? So he does not have any eyelids, as you can see. So he does not. It is said that he has no eyelids because he does not want to miss even a even the darshan of a single jiva. Huh? If he blinks in that second, you know how the darshans are in temple, that you're just aage chalo, aage chalo. So what if he misses the darshan of any jiva? His glance has so much benedictory power that if he misses somebody, he will not know that person visited him. So he wants to keep an eye on every single person that would come visit him and not even blink at all. So his doors are open except for those 2 hours, the whole rest of the time. So Jivas can keep visiting him. He does not sleep like other temples typically are closed. The Jagannath Puri temple does not close like that. And he does not even blink his eyes so that he wouldn't miss any darshan. So he does not sleep at all. So that is another aspect of his mercy, that he never sleeps and never misses any darshan. Then the third aspect of his mercy is the prasadam that Nirbhay Prabhu was talking about. Indradyumna Maharaj asked him to keep eating, eat as much as you can, and once you've eaten, that will be given out as prasad, right, to the ordinary people. And anything you eat in Jagannath Puri, actually in Jagannath Puri, mercy flows through prasadam. Like in other places, the you take dip in Ganga, or in Vrindavan, Raj is very, very important, right? You put Raj in on your head. You walk bare feet in Vrindavan so you can get benefit of the Raj as much as possible. Here, all the benedictions come through the prasad actually. So the prasad is very, very important. It gives you a lot of spiritual credit. Remember we talked about it. Lakshmi ji also said to Brahma ji that whatever anybody eats here will get the benefit. Not only prasadam, whatever anybody eats will get the benefit of eating Bhagwan's prasadam. And so, what to speak if somebody is eating Jagannath ji's prasadam is even more beneficial. And in this regard, there is a story I'll tell you, a very interesting story. This comes in actually Chaitanya Mangal by Lochan Das Thakur. So what happened is one time, again the benediction of Narad Muni, but Narad Muni was went to visit Lakshmi ji and Narayan, and he started serving Lakshmi ji. For many days he served her. He was trying to please her with various prayers and various acts and services. He was trying to please Lakshmi ji. So Lakshmi ji finally asked him that, Narad, what is going on? Do you need something from me? Why are you trying to please so much? So uh, Narad Muni said, I need just one favor from you, Lakshmi ji. I want the Mahaprasad of Narayan. I want to eat some prasad that he has accepted, some bhoga that he has accepted. I want to. Can you give me a plate of some prasad like that? So now Lakshmi ji just a few days back had been instructed by Lord Narayan that do not give my prasad to anybody. Okay. For some reason, he had given her that instruction. And so when Lakshmi ji heard this, she told Narad, he has forbidden me not to give out his prasadam to anybody. He said, but please, can you request him and see if he will agree? So Lakshmi ji went to Lord Narayan, and she was feeling very morose that he gave me this instruction and now his pure devotee is asking for something that I'm not able to fulfill. So there is such a conflict between both their demands. I wish I could make both of these people happy. So she told Narayan this. She told him that Narad Muni really wants your prasadam, but you have forbidden me to give that to anybody. So how can we go around this so that your word is also kept and Narad Muni is also pleased? Because I don't want to turn him away. What can we do? So Narayan said, okay, I have a trick here. What you can do is next time when I'm eating, just distract me, create some kind of distraction, and when I'm not looking, take stuff from my plate and make a plate for Narad. So I will not know that you have done it, and you can give that plate to Narad Muni. So Lakshmi ji said, okay, fine. And she engaged Garuda in this service. She got Garuda to distract him while he was eating so that Garuda was asking him something. And when he looked away, Lakshmi ji quickly took items from Narayan's plate and made a plate for Narad Muni. And in this way, she gave this prasad to Narad Muni. So when Narad Muni accepted this, honored this prasadam, after eating, he became very, very ecstatic. He started singing and dancing. He's anyways a celestial singer and dancer, and he started singing and dancing, and a very, very ecstatic mood came upon him, as if he's touched by the by the pure. He's pure devotee anyways, but he's starting to feel the bhakti like come alive inside him and exhibiting various symptoms. And in this mood, he danced all the way to Kailash Dham. And who did he meet there? Guess who did he meet in Kailash Dham? The Sanch will know. Who would one meet in Kailash Dham? Do you know?
Lord Shiva.
Lord Shiva. Yes. So he met Lord Shiva there. And he told Lord Shiva very excitedly that, I got Narayan's prasadam. And
Mataji, what was the question?
I was just saying that Narad Muni went to Kailash Dham. So who would he meet in Kailash Dham?
Shiva.
Shiva, yes, right. So he met there, and he told Shivji that I had Narayan's prasadam. Now, when Shivji heard this, oh, you had Narayan's prasadam? What are you talking about? Did you save any for me? He said, no, I finished it all. He said, no, no, look somewhere. You must. Why? How come you did not bring anything for me? Do you have something somewhere? He said, no, nothing. He said, I even washed my hands. I have nothing left on my hands. So Shivji started checking his hands. Let me check. And on the hand, somewhere in one of the nails, he found like a little grain of rice. Shivji said, okay, give me that. That's it. And he took that grain of rice and accepted it. And suddenly he was also completely satiated and started dancing and exhibiting complete, joy and devotional symptoms. So when all this dancing and jumping around was going on by Narad Muni and Shivji, then guess who came next? Who's the next person that would come? Do you know?
Brahma.
Brahma, no. Who else?
Parvati.
Parvati, right? So Parvati ji came. And Parvati ji said, oh, what is going on here? What is all the celebration about? So they told her that, we had the honor of getting Narayan's prasadam. And Shivji said, and I was able to get just a little grain from Narad Muni, but that's all I needed, just a little grain, and I'm completely satiated. So then Parvati ji said, okay, so in all of this excitement, where is my prasad? Did you save any for me? She asked Shivji. Shivji got really scared. He said, that was just like one little grain of rice that I got from his finger, and there was no way to break it. There was no way to give you any. Mother Parvati said, I'm sure you could have found a way to give me some. You ate it all. And Shivji really tried to pacify her, but she was very upset. She got really upset that she did not get Narayan's prasadam. So she sat there meditating on Lord Narayan. And then Lord Narayan visited her. He said, what's going on? Why is Mother Parvati so upset? And Mother Parvati explained that, Narad Muni got your prasadam. My husband got your prasadam. Narad Muni gave him some, but he did not save any for me at all. It's his fault. He's not giving me any prasadam. So you need to give me some prasadam. You need to help me. So Lord Narayan said, okay, Mother Parvati, it's okay. We'll give you prasadam. Mother Parvati said, no, that will not satisfy me anymore. What do you mean you will give me any prasadam? You have to give my kids prasadam too. So who are the kids of Mother Parvati? Who will answer? Ganesh and Kartikeya, and that's what Lord Narayan also thought. Okay, Mother Parvati will make you one plate and will make two plates also for Ganesh and Kartikeya. But he did not factor in that Mother Parvati, in the form of Durga Devi, is the mother of all jivas. So she said, what are you talking about, 2, 3 plates? I need a plate for every single jiva. They are all my kids. They are all in this material world. I am their mother. So you have to give prasad to every single jiva, and however many times they want, and whether or not they deserve it, they need to have prasadam. So Lord Narayan said, okay, it was my fault that I gave all the prasadam away. I will fulfill your request, and in the form of Jagannath, I will be giving prasadam freely to everybody. Not only prasadam, it will be Mahaprasadam, because first of all, you will accept it, and then all the jivas will get your Mahaprasadam. So that is how we see that in Jagannath temple, Mother Parvati resides in the form of Bimla Devi in the one of the inner courtyards of the temple, very close to Lord Jagannath's deities. Bimla Devi resides, and the prasad is first given to her, and then it is given to all, given as Mahaprasad to everybody else. So in this way, the mercy of Mother Parvati the promise that Jagannath ji had made to Indradyumna also, that there will be no deficiency of prasadam in Jagannath Puri. So much so that it is freely given to anybody and everybody inside and outside the temple, and whether or not they come inside, they are all eligible for prasadam. Everybody is given prasadam freely. So this is the and so every morsel in it is considered, it is sanctified food. It is completely transcendental. Everything is actually pretty much mixed together to be offered. And that is how free prasadam is supplied for 24 hours in Jagannath Puri. So this is same as rolling in the dust of Vrindavan or taking a dip in Gangaji, is same as eating prasadam in Jagannath Puri. So this is the third aspect of Jagannath Ji's mercy, and he's actually called Anna Brahman. Anna Brahman because he's um, the aspect of the Lord which gives mercy through Anna, through the grains or the food. So that is so the first aspect was Rath Yatra. The second was that he doesn't sleep and gives darshan all the time. His eyes don't even blink when anybody's taking darshan, so he doesn't miss anybody. The third aspect of his mercy was the prasadam, 24 hours. And the fourth aspect of his mercy is that I already talked about, that the personal service of the Lord is performed by the Shabras. They do the shringar, the dress up of the deities, the decorations, and personal services are carried on by the Shabra dynasty known as Daitas. Anyone, it is said, and then when he comes out in the Rath Yatra, when he comes out, it is said that whoever sees him and asks for a wish, he fulfills those wishes. Anybody can approach him and embrace him. And it is just his merciful aspect that he allows himself to be dragged out, because the deity is actually very, very heavy. So he has to be tied with ropes to be pulled out of the temple and placed on the carts, and that is also performed by daitas. It takes a lot of strong men to put Jagannath ji on the cart, and then he still has to be pulled by the ropes. So he's bound at the waist by the ropes, and that's how he's pulled, and then pulled on the cart by the ropes, and anybody can approach him there. Uh, and in this way, he makes himself so completely available to the general public like that. So this is all his merciful aspects. And then the last aspect that I wanted to discuss, number 5, is the various pastimes that he enjoys with the devotees. Actually, there are many, many stories, so many stories. You can hear one every day, new story every day, about Jagannath ji's pastimes with various devotees. But those pastimes are divided into 3 type of pastimes. One is the Garv Ganjan stories. Garv Ganjan stories meaning those pastimes in which he breaks the ego of um, uh, of the devotee or the non-devotee. So some people that approach to him with a lot of pride or arrogance in their heart, he how he breaks their ego or pride. So there are certain stories about that. Um, I will not go into this because I want to get to Gundica Marjanam. So that there are Garv Ganjan stories. Then there are Patit Pavan stories, Patit Pavan pastimes, in which he saves the fallen people that were very, very either sinful or in a very, very distressed state and had no hope, a kinchan, how he completely uplifted them as a Patit Pavan, as a savior. So those Patit Pavan pastimes are there. And the third type of pastimes that he engages in are Bhakta Manranjan. Manoranjan, right? जिसमें मन को pleasure मिलता है, मनोरंजन, pleasure to the heart. So those pastimes in which he enchants the heart of the devotees or give pleasures to the heart of the devotees. Those are called Bhakta Manranjan pastimes. So Garva Ganjan pastime, breaking the pride, the Patit Pavan pastime, saving the fallen, and the Bhakta Manranjan pastimes, giving the pleasure to the devotees. In each category, there are many, many pastimes, especially Garv Ganjan pastimes for somebody like me are very nice to hear how he breaks the pride of people. And one of those was one of the ones whose pride he broke was Sudarshan, none other than Sudarshan Chakra. I will skip that story and we'll uh, go into another story if you're all okay. But these are just the various merciful aspects of the Lord Jagannath. Does anyone have any questions so far, or realizations or corrections, thoughts, anything? Please share.
No.
Okay, thank you, Ansh. Okay, is everybody still following, or shall I keep going?
Yes.
Okay, so so let's talk about this beautiful pastime known as Gundica Marjanam. Okay, so yesterday we talked about the relationship between, just a little bit, we talked about the relationship between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Jagannath, Lord Jagannath, right? So we said Lord Jagannath is the Dwarkadhish who is in mood of separation from Radharani, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is basically Radharani in mood of separation from Krishna. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or Radharani is staying in Jagannath Puri for those last 18 years of her sannyas. He spent 18 years in Jagannath Puri, and he used to reside in Gambhira in the house of Kashi Mishra. Does anyone know who Kashi Mishra is in Krishna Leela?
No.
And she want to guess something. I'll give you a hint, okay? Then you can guess maybe. So you know when Krishna came to Mathura, he met a few people. This person is one of those people. Have you heard the story of when Krishna came to Mathura and he met like 3 or 4 people? There was like a
Only one.
which one?
Gubja.
Yes. So Kashi Mishra is none other than Kubja. Okay, the perfect guess. So yes, yeah. When there is a whole another story how Krishna came to Mathura. He met a few people. One of them was like a garland maker. Very very beautiful story of the garland maker. And then another person was Kubja. And then he met like a washerman. Um, one or two other people.
Head off
Say that again.
and cut his head off.
Yes, yes, exactly. But yes, you were right. So Kubja is none other. So Kubja is Kashi Mishra in God Leela. So Mahaprabhu stayed in the house of Kashi Mishra in Gambira for 18 years, and this Kashi Mishra is none other than Kubja, right? So now Radharani. So Jagannath Rath Yatra is when Krishna is coming to Vrindavan, right? Gundicha temple is basically represented as Vrindavan. So imagine Radharani is waiting in Vrindavan and Krishna is coming the next day. So what would you do when somebody very important is coming to your house? Let's say somebody very important is coming to my house. What would I do? I would clean up the house, make it spotless, organize everything very nicely so that the guests who are coming will be very pleased by the clean environment in the house, right?
To eat.
Give them something to eat, sure, yes, yes. But how do you get the house ready? You clean the house, okay? So in this way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in the mood of Radharani, who is now preparing for the arrival of Jagannath Ji for tomorrow. Tomorrow Jagannath Ji is coming. So today we need to clean up this temple because remember the Gundicha temple is otherwise empty the whole year. So it accumulates a lot of dust and it's an open air temple. If you've seen some in India, the ancient temples, how they used to be open air temples, it accumulates a lot of dust and straw and grain and husk and whatnot gets collected there, sand and whatnot. So it needed to be cleaned because Jagannath Ji is coming tomorrow with Baldev and Subhadra. So what did Mahaprabhu do? He asked permission from some authorities. One of the authorities, Kashi.
Devotees.
Yeah, from devotees, from Kashi Mishra, one of them, and from Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya. Okay, he asked them the permission that I want to clean this temple with some other devotees. Can I do so? And at that time, the king was King Pratap Rudra, right? So he also gave special order that whatever Mahaprabhu needs should be supplied to him for this cleaning of the temple. And this pastime of the cleaning of Gundicha temple is called Gundicha Marjanam. So Marjanam basically means cleaning, right? Like we say Cheto Darpan Marjanam, cleaning the mirror of our heart or mind. You're saying something, Ansh?
I said heart.
Yes. Yes. So that's just like Cheto Darpan Marjanam. This is Gundicha Marjanam. This is cleaning of the temple. So what did he do? He started. So once he got the permission from the king and from Kashi Mishra, Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya, he started inviting people to clean. And how did he invite? He did not just order them. He's an authority, and everybody worships him. But he did not. He could have just ordered people, come and clean this temple. You come and help me clean this temple. That's not what he did. He invited them by offering them garlands and chandan. He put chandan on their body and he gave them garlands. Why? Because Mahaprabhu is showing that the relationships are very, very important. So he valued those relationships with other devotees and his other disciples and all. He did not just order them around. When he asked them to help, he asked them in such a pleasing way that they will be willing to do that service. So nicely he asked them, right? And then he was supplied 100 new buckets and 100 brooms to clean the temple. So then they started cleaning, and initially they started by just brooming the temple. When we clean, we always clean with the broom first, right? We clean all the big things, gross things you clean. So him and the 100 other disciples and devotees started cleaning the temple just with the brooms. And they're cleaning all kind of sand and dust and straw and whatnot. Very, like, layers and layers of dirt is there, so they're all cleaning that. And Mahaprabhu was personally cleaning with them. It's not like he's just supervising, yahan saaf karo, wahan saaf karo. He's cleaning with them, right? So he was showing what a leader should be like. Leader should lead with example, right? Yad yad acharti shreshthas tat tad evatero jana. Whatever great people do, common men follow. So he was leading, and he was actually collecting the maximum dust and dirt out. He was cleaning his pile. They were making piles outside, and his pile was the biggest pile. So in this way they were all cleaning. And actually I can open the chapter here. This whole chapter comes in Madhya Leela, chapter 12. This chapter is called Cleaning of the Gundica Temple, and the verses start from verse 71. And very, very nice chapter. If you all want to read it, you can read. Everything is described very much in detail. For example, I will read just 2 or 3 verses to give an idea. The Lord cleansed everything inside the temple very nicely, including the ceiling. He then took up the sitting place, cleansed it, and again put it in its original place. Thus the Lord and his companions cleansed and swept all the temple's buildings, big and small, and finally cleansed the area between the temple and the Kirtan hall. Hundreds of devotees were engaged in cleaning all around the temple, and Mahaprabhu was personally carrying out the operation just to instruct others. So in this way, they were cleaning everywhere, not just okay, let's just only clean only the temple hall, but no, they were cleaning even like the servant quarters, the small rooms, big and small rooms around the courtyard, the kirtan hall, everything they were cleaning. Even under the simhasan, the sitting place of the deities, they were cleaning under that also. And they were doing this service, this cleaning, in great jubilation. You can see, while chanting the holy name of the Lord Krishna all the time. So it tells us how we should do the service. When we are given a service, we should do it in great joy. We should do it with very strong enthusiasm of serving the Lord and devotees, and should not be thinking of mundane things at the time of service. We should be chanting the names of Krishna all the time. So how were these devotees cleaning? They were saying Krishna, Krishna the whole time. If they wanted a broom, they won't say ki ye dena wo dena. Krishna, Krishna, and the other person will give him to the broom saying Krishna, Krishna. So in this way they were chanting the holy names of the Lord throughout the time while performing their duties. So so this is something important to understand, that we should, the first point of instruction here was how he took permission from his seniors before doing the service, right? We should take permission from our seniors, number 1. Number 2, how he valued the relationship and in a very loving gesture invited other devotees to serve alongside him, right? We should value our relationships with the devotees and lovingly invite them for services, right? And whenever uh, devotees together engage in a service, their relationship gets stronger. Plus, their enthusiasm for devotional service, their greed to achieve Krishna increases. And you do that service in great jubilation with enthusiasm and while chanting the names of the Lord, right? So actually all kind of temple services, especially cleaning of the temple is, or cleaning of the dham or the temple is called Sohini Seva. Sohini Seva is very, very important because it cleanses one's own heart of all the anarthas, of all the conditioning and sinful desires, right? Like one time, Prabhupada was crossing through the area of the temple where they were cleaning the dishes. So many devotees were engaged in cleaning the dishes. So when Prabhupada saw them, he told them, you're not just cleaning these dishes, you're actually cleaning your own heart. You're cleaning your own heart. So, in this way, it is said that whenever you feel a devotee, the biggest thing that can hurt our progress is the pride in the heart, right? So, whenever you think you're having pride in your heart, you should request to do some menial services that will humble you. So cleaning of the temple or cleaning of the dham, cleaning the dishes, these kind of services are considered very humbling services that one should take up when one is having these kind of anarthas come up in the heart. And immediately you will be humbled, and Lord will fix that particular anartha. So this Sohini Seva is very, very cleansing. Can anybody name a very great devotee who used to perform Sohini Seva in Vrindavan? There are many, but one very with whom a very great pastime is associated.
Hari Prabhu,
Pandit.
Harinath,
Harinath, I don't know the name, Mataji.
Shamanan Pandit.
Yes, exactly. And Shyamanand Pandit, when he was doing Sohini Seva once in Vrindavan, what did he find? Yeah, on the ground, he found something very valuable. You remember, Ansh?
The ankle of Radha Rani.
Yes, he found the anklet of Radharani. Ansh, Hari Bol. Can we say 3 times Hari Bol for Ansh for all these answers?
Hari Bol.
Hari
Hari
Bol,
Bol.
Hari Bol,
Hari
Hari Bol.
Bol. Bol.
So yeah, Shamanand Pandit, who used to be Dukhi Krishna Das, right? And he was doing Sohini Seva of Vrindavan Dham, and he found anklet of Radharani, right? And then how Radharani paid him darshan and gave him a new name, gave him a new tilak, and gave him the deities, right? The shams and the deities. So in this way, so the cleaning of the dham, the temple, all this is very, very purifying for one's heart. So now they're cleaning with the brooms right now. Then it says then as they kept doing, they made piles outside the temple. And Mahaprabhu now engaged them in a transcendental competition. He said, I will inspect everybody's pile. Whoever has collected the smallest amount of pile of the straw and dust, he will have to pay a fine. The smallest pile would have to pay a fine. So this is a very nice, transcendental competition. And if you know, Prabhupada often used to engage devotees in transcendental competition like this. It is not out of envy that this competition happens. This is more to encourage everybody to do more for the Lord, and to just keep everybody thoroughly enthusiastic about the service. So Prabhupada actually used to use this trick also in book distribution, in publication of his books. He would engage in this transcendental competition that let's see who would win. Do I write faster than the publisher, or do the book distributors distribute faster than the publishers or than me? Let's see, between the three people, who will win? Will the author win? Will the distributor win, or will the publisher win? So sometimes somebody will win, sometimes some other will win. And Prabhupada, when he would win, he say, look, I'm writing faster than you can distribute or publish. Right? So this is a transcendental competition that used to happen very, fondly remembered by the devotees. So that's how Mahaprabhu said you will have to pay a fine if you did not collect enough. If your pile of straw and dust is smallest, the fine would be that you would have to bring sweet rice and cakes for everybody. You'd have to serve some food for everybody. So then after cleaning all the gross dust and everything, you can see now The Lord then ordered everyone to cleanse the inside of the temple very perfectly by taking finer dust, straws, and grains of sand and throwing them outside. So now they started collecting the finer stuff, finer straw, grains, and dust, and all. So then they cleaned everything for the second time. So look at how detailed, how meticulous their service is, right? So sometimes we say, oh, details are not important, but actually, you can see somebody's love in those small details. So they were paying attention to the details actually, the small things also. So they cleaned it second time with the broom. पहले एक बार मोटा मोटा साफ किया, then छोटी छोटी चीजें साफ की with the broom. So now they were getting ready to do the cleaning with the water pots, right? Because brooming ho gayi, now you'll have to do the water pots. So water pots mein kaise tha? They all will take turns to fill the water pots. Very, very organized way of doing. Some people were engaged in filling the water pots. Some people were bringing them, handing them over, and some people were actually wiping the floors with the water pots. So in this way, they started cleaning. And Mahaprabhu himself was cleaning. And Mahaprabhu was cleaning with his own uttariya he took and was wiping everything. He was washing everything from ceiling, walls, floor, sitting place, everything else within the room. Now at this time, so then they were all cleaning with the water. I'll skip a little bit and go down. At this time, one of the devotees did something very naughty. You know what he did? He put some water on Mahaprabhu's feet while cleaning, because everybody is pouring water here and there. He put water on Mahaprabhu's feet and then collected it, huh? And then ran away. Do you know what he collected that water for? And he started sharing it with everybody to drink as Charnamrit. This is Mahaprabhu's Charnamrit. So look at this. The water that fell from the lotus feet of Mahaprabhu was drunk by someone who hid himself. So that person hid himself, and then someone begged him for that water, and that person gave the water in charity. So he started giving it away to people in charity. मैं भी पी रहा हूँ, तुम भी पियो. So Mahaprabhu externally was upset that somebody took my Charnamrit without asking me. Look, someone brought water to pour into the hands of Mahaprabhu, and someone poured water on his lotus feet and then collected it. So externally Mahaprabhu showed that I'm upset, but internally, he's Krishna, he was happy. So in this way, they kept on cleaning, and very organized fashion they were cleaning. Okay. And many of the water pots were broken when so much hustle bustle was going on. Some people are coming in, bringing the water. Some people are going out to fill more water. Some people are actually cleaning. Hundreds of men are engaged in this service. So some water pots actually broke and collided with one another, which is expected. So sometime you're doing services, some things may not, things may fall, there may be some havoc happening, which is all part of the service. So one should not get very baffled or very disturbed by these kind of things, right? But ultimately, you see, everyone was engaged in chanting the holy names of Krishna and Hari. They were all chanting Krishna, Krishna. See, one person begged for a water pot by chanting the names Krishna, Krishna. He'll say Krishna, Krishna. And when he gives him the water, he says Krishna, Krishna. So any hello, thank you, hi, bye, everything was being said through Krishna, Krishna. So whenever anyone had to speak, he did so by uttering the holy name of Krishna. So holy name of Krishna became an indication for everyone who wanted something. In this way, we should completely immerse ourselves in Krishna when we're doing the service. So just forget anything. All just engage completely in, Krishna. Just chant his names, hear the kirtan or hear the Prabhupada's lectures, right? When we're doing these services, and just completely immerse in the service itself. So, and then when Lord saw someone doing something nicely, he praised him. And when he saw someone not doing something properly to his satisfaction, he chastised that person, not bearing him any grudge, right? So if somebody is doing something nice, he would praise him. And when somebody is not doing nice, he will, it's not like in a fault finding fashion that he's saying you're not doing your service properly, because he does not have any grudge in his heart. He does not have any envy in his heart. So whenever he's saying something to the other person won't mind it either, because they know that it is Mahaprabhu. He has no envy in his heart. So that is how, if we have to fix the service of any devotee, then we should be sure that we don't have any envy or grudge in our heart against the devotee. Otherwise, it is an offense, but we should just do it for the sake of getting the best service out of the devotee. And when he would praise, he would say, "You have done well. Please teach the others so that they may act also in the same way." So in this way, the sweeping of the temple was going on. So much detailed sweeping happened. Okay. And then another devotee did the same thing that the first one did. What did he do? Somebody came and stole Charnamrit from Lord's feet. Kaise? After everything was thoroughly washed, a Vaishnav from Bengal who was very intelligent and simple came and poured water on the lotus feet of the Lord, then took that water and drank it himself. Seeing that, Mahaprabhu felt a little unhappy and was also outwardly angry. फिर से किसी ने वही किया. But this person, the other person was very clever. He hid himself and never got caught. This person got caught. So Mahaprabhu sent Swarup Damodar Das after him. He said, "Just see the behavior of your Bengali Vaishnav. Hmm? So look, he is taken my Charnamrit and drinking it. So go catch him." So in this regard, it is said that we should keep our etiquettes very nice, because we are all representing Prabhupada, right? So we don't want, just like Mahaprabhu called Swarup Damodar, see the behavior of your Vaishnav. We don't want Krishna to call Prabhupada and say, "Look, see the behavior of your Vaishnav, of your devotee, your disciple." Right? So remembering that we are all representatives of Prabhupada, we should keep the highest standards of etiquette. But here, this is just a very loving pastime going on. So what did Mahaprabhu say? This person from Bengal has washed my feet within the temple of personality of Godhead. Not only that, he has drunk the water himself. So Mahaprabhu is getting upset. Then Swarup Damodar Das caught that Gaudiya Vaishnav by the neck. Look, he caught him by the neck. Yes, Ansh?
Time there was no Prabhupada.
Huh?
At that time there was no Prabhupada.
Yes, that's right. Yes. No, I'm talking about now that Prabhupada is in the same position as that. We should also hold the high standard, so nobody will chastise Prabhupada like Mahaprabhu is chastising Swarup Damodar. So what did Swarup Damodar Goswami did? He caught the Gaudiya Vaishnav by the neck. So now what would Prabhupada do? If somebody complains about us, he will also catch us by neck, and giving him a little push, ejected him from the temple and made him stay outside. So he made him stand outside. Go stand outside. He got caught and put him out of the temple. Bahar khade ho jao jaake. But then Swarup Damodar Das Goswami came and he apologized to Mahaprabhu and to excuse him, that he's just an innocent, simple Vaishnav. Please excuse him for that act. And Mahaprabhu was very satisfied. And then he sat everybody in lines. Because temple is completely clean. Every single corner has been clean. It is shining. It is said that the temple is shining like the mind of the Lord himself, right? Mind of the Lord, which is completely effulgent. So that is how the temple is now shining. And Lord sat them in lines so they can be given prasadam. And even the same Gaudiya, that same Gaudiya Vaishnav was also given prasadam. He also sat down in the line. And now Mahaprabhu is saying, "I shall gather everyone's collection of the straw and the dust," right? "And ask whoever is collected less than the all others to pay a fine of sweet cakes and sweet rice." So, so anyways, they not only cleaned inside the temple, they also cleaned outside on the roads. Roads were also cleaned. No one could tell exactly how this was done. Nobody even knows. Everybody was just engaged in cleaning something or the other, and everything was shining inside and out. So they cleaned the Narsimha temple also. You see the Narsimha temple also inside and outside. And then they began dancing, and then congregational chanting and kirtan took place. So in this way, the service of cleaning the temple was completed, and Mahaprabhu engaged everybody in great jubilation and great excitement in this very important Sohini Seva of the temple. And they were performing this with enthusiasm. They were enjoying each other's association. They were having these naughty pastimes, and yet completely doing the service with great details and in a very organized, efficient way, right? Then they also chanting the names of the Lord, and now they will dance and honor the prasadam. Like that is Krishna consciousness. That is what Prabhupada wanted us all to do, right? Completely stay engaged in various services and just completely enjoy, eat prasadam, chant, dance, and feast. That is the peace formula, right? So that is why this pastime tells us how this, service for Krishna is very, very rarely achieved, um, and and one should really honor that service and do it with great detail and uh, so proper time, proper consciousness, proper intentions. Without any offense, one should do these services that are very, very rarely achieved. And they have so much power on cleansing our mind, just like this pastime of cleansing of the temple. It cleanses the mind, purifies one of all sinful desires and all the anarthas and conditioning in one's heart. So this is the pastime of Gundica Marjanam, the cleaning of the Gundica temple, where Lord Jagannath arrives the next day with Baldev and Subhadra in the cart, and then he will stay there for 8 days, and after 8 days, he will return back. So this was the pastime of Gundica Marjanam. Please add any more details or make any corrections. You can read this chapter 12 from Madhya Leela on your own to go more into the details of this nectarian pastime. But I think we can close this discussion on Jagannath Ji. I hope that I get the um, opportunity to visit the Jagannath Puri Dham also. It is one of the Char Dhams, the four Dhams, four principal Dhams that are famous in each part of the country: north, east, west, and south. So in north is Badrinath, in east is Jagannath Puri, in west is the Dwarka Dham, and in south is the Rameshwaram or Ramnath, where Ramnath resides, Rameshwaram. Those are the Char Dhams. And this Jagannath Rath Yatra is coming up by the end of this month. The three carts, the three chariots, their construction starts from Akshay Tritiya. If you remember, Akshay Tritiya happened last month, and that's when the Chandan Yatra starts. For 3 weeks, the Chandan Yatra goes on, where sandalwood or Chandan is applied to the deities to keep them cool. And then that Chandan Yatra ends in the Snan Yatra, which is the appearance day of Jagannath Ji. After Snan Yatra, they fall sick for 15 days. Then Gundicha Marjanam happens on 15th day, and on 16th day, the Jagannath Rath Yatra happens, when the deities again give darshan after being sick for 15 days. And that is called Netrotsav or Nav Yovan Utsav, the festival for the eyes or festival of the eternal youth and beauty. So that is the Jagannath Puri Dham. It has many, many benedictions. So many of our acharyas have spent time in Jagannath Puri. Mahaprabhu, as we talked about, spent 18 years. Srila Prabhupada was very attached to Jagannath Puri. He used to look at the train rosters to see which train would take me to Jagannath Ji. He was always wanting to go to Jagannath Puri. And that is how he had started the Rath Yatra even as a child of 5 years of age, and went on to make this an international festival of chariots everywhere in all the various cities. Uh, and like I said about Mahaprabhu, he was so attached. In so many pastimes of Mahaprabhu have happened in Jagannath Puri. He had so many exchanges with Haridas Thakur. Now, Haridas Thakur, being a born in Muslim family, was not allowed entry into the temple, right? Into the Jagannath temple. So Mahaprabhu told him, you just take darshan of the Sudarshan Chakra on top of the temple, and just eat the prasadam. And he would just sit under that Siddh Bakul tree and chant his 192 rounds every day. So even though he did not have entry into the temple, but he would just look at the chakra and keep chanting the names of the Lord. Upliftment of Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya happened there. Mahaprabhu dancing at the Rath Yatra, teachings given to Rup Goswami for 10 days, right? All those pastimes have happened in Jagannath Puri. So this is a very, very place full of many, many spiritual benedictions. Let's hear from any other devotees. Please share your reflections or thoughts or other points that you want to share. Is everybody still awake?
Yes, Mataji. Still
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, would you like to share something? Or Ansh, would you like to share?
No.
I would like to share something, Mataji. I think the stories, the way you delivered, you were like, I almost felt the mood when you were describing with so much of passion the way the deities are pulled. I could just imagine how it must feel for the devotees trying to do the Rath Yatra. Like, it must be such a joyful experience. So when you were telling all these stories, actually it almost takes you in that place even though we're not there. So thank you so much.
Thank you for sharing. I appreciate. Um, I'm just trying to convey the mood. I have no personal experience or realizations at all, actually. Um, but yeah, we at least if we have some taste for serving Jagannath ji, for seeing him, for doing the Rath Yatra, for visiting Puri, maybe those desires, it is said the spiritual desires get fulfilled. So maybe our spiritual desires get fulfilled too. These Jagannath deities, their pastimes, you can hear on YouTube. There are many pastimes that Lord has exchanged. There are some that one or two that come in the God Leela. Actually, one very important one. Um, I'm not very familiar with it, so but those are the deities that are served in Mayapur Dham, actually, ISKCON Mayapur, by the priests of ISKCON Mayapur, the deities, Jagannath deities there. But the main thing to know is that these deities, they are Lord themselves. They are this is Krishna himself, and we're trying to understand the mood of Krishna. A very famous verse says. प्रतिमा नहीं तोमार तुम्ही साक्षात ब्रजेंद्र नंदन प्रतिमा नाही तुम्ही साक्षात ब्रजेंद्र नंदन विप्रा लागी करा तुम्ही अकार्य करण that you are not a pratima or a statue, you are sakshat brajendra nandan. So we should remember that this is sakshat Krishna himself, and for our benefit, vipra lagi kara, for the benefit of vipra or brahmans, for the priest, for the one that is worshipping, for their benefit, tumi akarya karana, that you have come without any no other reason but that reason, just to engage a devotee in his service. So that is we should know that they are sakshat Brajendra Nandan. Okay, any other reflections or thoughts? Anisha Mataji or Abhiram Gopal Prabhu, Ketki Mataji, Nirbhay Prabhu, Nirmala Mataji, any reflections, please share.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for a wonderful presentation. It was very nice. Mataji, one thing I wanted to ask, the pastime of the devotee who drank the water Charnamrit from Lord Chaitanya's feet. Did you read that section from Chaitanya Charitamrit just during the session?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah,
We were just reading it.
Yeah, what shloka was that?
Here, I can share it. Let's see. So the Gundica Marjanam pastimes are between 12.71 to 150. So there are two devotees that drank Charnamrit, right? One got caught, one did not get caught, right? So the second one got caught here. This is actually very nice pastime. So let's see. 122. So from here starts the story. After everything was thoroughly washed, a Vaishnava from Bengal, who was very intelligent and simple, came and poured water on the lotus feet of the Lord. Gaudiya Vaishnava then took the water and drank it himself. Seeing that, Mahaprabhu felt a little unhappy and was also outwardly angry. Although Lord was certainly satisfied with him, he became angry externally in order to establish the etiquette of religious principles. The Lord then called for Swarup Damodar and told him, just see the behavior of your Bengali Vaishnav. So it goes on like this. So then he says he has drunk the water. I now do not know what my destination is because of this offense. He's saying that in Jagannathji's temple, this Vaishnav is drinking my Charnamrit. So I don't know what my destination will be. At this point, Swarup Damodar caught the Gaudiya by the neck and giving him a little push, ejected him from the temple and made him stand outside. Like that, they punished him. But then Swarup Damodar came back and asked for excusing the innocent person, that he's just simple. And Mahaprabhu was satisfied. And then they sat them all in line, including that Gaudiya, and served everybody prasadam. This was the second person that got caught. Then there was the first person who did not get caught, and he was giving the Chandamrit to everybody or to other people also.
Yes, Mataji. What was the chapter? What is the chapter
This is chapter 12
of Madhya?
of Madhya Lila, yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
The cleansing of the Gundica temple.
Thank you very much.
Prabhuji, please make any corrections.
No, Mataji, it was very nice. I have to read this section because there are different perspective from which different devotees have shared in multiple lectures. So once I read, then if I have any thoughts, I can share. But thank you, Mataji.
Yes, sure, Prabhuji. I heard this whole pastime from Adi Gadadhar Prabhu. If you would like to hear his um, realizations from this chapter.
Oh, I see. Okay, so you heard from his lecture. Okay.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji.
So, okay, so if anybody else wants to share, please share. Not, we'll stop. Okay, so we'll stop. Thank you everybody for listening. Vancha kalturubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patita nam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah.